Hello there, Chelsea again here with my professional apps project. I had a lot of fun with this, despite all the work that needed to go into it. This was an awesome way to show what we have learned throughout the semester. As I present my concept and prototypes, I'm going to show you parts of my workbook and my actual applications. Let's start in the workbook. So, for this project, we needed to investigate and research potential ideas, users, and existing professional applications. After devising word lists, I decided on either creating a professional app for photographers or a production company. After researching, I did find some awesome ones for photography. VSCO Film is a great one where each of their apps have different abilities per device. I use their phone app and love it. Users do not do the same thing on their desktop site as they do their apps. I think this is fantastic because they're able to cover their market very well by providing these different needs depending on scenarios. Because the photography market is pretty well covered, I'm going with a production company professional app. The target audience is people working for a small production company. The company's main source of income is in advertising or creating commercials, but the company specializes in music videos and shorts. The people working for this company have various talents and interests, and together create a unique style in a niche market. The kind of clients who hire this company like to have a non-typical production, are in favor of creative interpretations, and appreciate the specific style this company has to offer their craft. The users I will focus on are the producer, crew members, specifically a cinematographer or an actor, and the client. I decided to create a website for the client since websites can handle some amazing ways to show the company to potential clients. I created the tablet app for a producer and the phone app for crew members. As a whole, the app should fit the needs of the target audience. It also needs to successfully solve several issues to work out for this concept. So, let's jump down here to the design and branding styles for the company. I actually created this logo a few semesters back in Art 235 for the logo project with the words bird and production company. The hummingbird opened all kinds of doors for me to try out designs. The color scheme is a light and clean professional scheme similar to the geometric typography the application will use throughout. For the imagery styles, I like to see images in something other than a square or rectangle. So I have the project folders in circles and portraits of the employees are in the shape of a hummingbird. Squares are nice when the user needs to clearly see what is there, so I stuck with this for the app task managers and documents. On the website, the main images for recent work are also in the square because videos play in this format. Now that I have my styling explained, let's head to my sketching. Starting with the desktop app, we want users to experience what this company is all about and be able to experience it through a memorable and easy experience. I thought about the different ways I could do this and ultimately thought there needs to be at least one full screen video of the latest work or just clips from their best work. I like the one-page site where the user is in control with scrolling. My final is most similar to my first sketch, but with a video background. The scenarios were, number 1, the user needs to get a bid on a job, number 2, learn about the employees of the company, and number 3, that the user wants to see recent work from the company. The video that is playing in the background actually has a song as well, which should also use a sense of hearing to convey the style of this company. I have images displaying recent work, a company about section, an employees about section, and the get in touch section. Last but not least, we land on the final full screen video in all its glory. Through testing, I learned to make sure the user knows that they have completed a form, and the employee should also link their social media to the site. With this current prototype, I was able to successfully meet the requirements for the scenario. Now, let's hop over to the producer app for Beats Productions. The scenarios here are 1. User needs to add upcoming event to schedule. 2. The user needs to check messages. And 3. User needs to check documents to make sure they have what they need for set. I sketched out my screen ideas and stayed pretty well within my original idea with an optimized navigation. The logo will always take the user home if pressed from any screen. Here we can go through our task manager starting with a calendar. Here we see upcoming events and add event by pressing here in the upper right corner. I have already added the information the user would add to simulate how this would happen, but ultimately the user picks a date and picks the event. Then as they click add event, the event is added with a notification along the top to let them know. So now we can head home and check out documents. Here the producer can see their releases. I use a talent and a location agreement example, and they check out storyboards and shot lists. These are all super helpful on set and super helpful to not have paper copies of all these documents floating around. Here they are contained in one spot. Last but not least, we have our messages, where the user can check incoming messages. Through this design, I was able to meet the requirements for my scenarios. Now that we have the tablet and website worked out, let's check out the final app in this series, which is the smartphone app. This app specifically is for the crew. The scenarios for this app are 1. The user needs to add an event to the schedule. 2. User needs to practice lines from the script. And 3. The user wants to review the shot list and storyboard. So let's check it out and see if we can accomplish these scenarios. First, let's look at the script. The app will be for specific projects since a lot of crew doesn't need access to all the projects. Most actors, for example, are only part of one project. I use the Greenhouse project here just to simulate the experience. As we click on script, we can also go through the scenes by the navigation here. The logo in the corner still is the home button, and the navigation on the other side is optimized throughout the other pages of the application. Here's our script. Now, let's check out our add event to the schedule. Here, the user can look at events and reminders. They can add by clicking on the add option in the navigation and then their event and add their event or reminder. As they click the button to add, the event or reminder will then be updated to contain what they have added. The user can then review the shot list and storyboard, which is using the same navigation to pan throughout the scenes. Now that I've been able to show you these functions, the requirements for the scenarios have been met. Through testing, I learned to change how the calendar looked so that it was cleaner and more simple. I started with it looking like my tablet, but a box calendar was useless. I also learned in testing to keep the navigation as simple as it can be, and the same throughout the applications. This really helped me to set up all the documents with the same navigation. Overall, I'm happy with the concept and plan for allowing myself more time to work on these kinds of projects in the future. Each individual application is a big job, and finding ways to relate them together seamlessly was also a big part of the job. I really enjoyed working on this though and spending time creating this professional application as a whole. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.